चिन्तयेद्विघ्नराजम् वशश सदलयुक्ते सौम्यमाधारपद्मे तरुणमरुणगात्रं वारणस्यां गणेशम् अभयवरदहस्तं चारुपाशाङ्कुशोद्यत् करयुगलमनन्यं चिन्तये वशशसदलयुक्ते सौम्यमाधारपद्मे तरुणमरुणगात्रं वारणस्यां गणेशम् अभयवरदहस्तं चारुपाशाङ्कुशोद्यत् करयुगलमनन्यं चिन्तयेद्विघ्नराजम् बभमयरलसंज्ञैरक्षरैः क्लुप्तपत्रे सुखकरमुपविष्टं पङ्कजे पद्मयोनिम् अभयवरदहस्तं गण्डिकां चक्षमाला करयुगलमनन्यं चिन्तयेद्विश्वयोनिम् दान्त्यैः फान्तगतैः प्रकल्पितदलैः पद्मे निविष्टं हरिं मार्ताण्डद्युतिमादिपूरुषमजं नारायणं शार्ङ्गिणं हस्ताम्भोज गदारशङ्खममलं पीताम्बरं कौस्तुभं श्रीवत्साङ्गिदमब्धिजा सहचरं ध्यायेज्जगन्मोहनं काद्यैष्ठान्तगतैः प्रकल्पितदले पङ्केरुहे पार्वतीकान्तं कान्तिशशाङ्ककोटिसदृशं प्रख्यम् कपर्देज्वलं शान्तं ठङ्गमृगाभयेष्टवरदं युक्तं करैः कङ्कणैः ध्यायेदीश्वरमीप्सितार्थफलदं हृत्पुण्डरीके स्थितं मूर्त्यङ्गेषु निविष्टमङ्गरसहितं शान्तं तुषारप्रभम् व्याप्ताशेषचराचरैर्गुणगणैर्भावेन संवेष्टितं मूर्तामूर्तमनेकमूर्तममलं ज्योतिःप्रदीपोपमं साक्षात् षोडशपत्रयुक्तकमले जीवं परं चिन्तयेत् हक्षाभ्यां परिवृत्तपत्रकमले दिव्ये जगत्कारणम् विश्वोत्तीर्णमनेकदेहममलं स्वच्छन्दमात्मेच्छया तद्योगतया स्वदेशिकतनुं भावेन दीपाङ्कुरं प्रत्यक्षाक्षरविग्रहं गुरुपदं ध्यायेद्विभुं शाश्वतम् विश्वव्यापिनमादिदेवममलं सत्यं परं निष्कलम् नित्यं युक्तसहस्रपत्रकमले व्याप्ताक्षरैर्मण्डितं नित्यानन्दमनन्दपूर्णभरितं शब्दस्तुषार्यैर्युतं शब्दब्रह्ममयं परात्परमहं भक्त्या परं भावये स्निग्धाराळविसारिकुन्तलभरं सिंहासनाध्यासिनं स्फूर्जत्पत्रसुक्लुप्तकुण्डलमथ इश्वासभृद्दोर्युगं नीलक्षौमवसं नवीनजलदश्यामं प्रभासत्यकस्फायत्पार्श्वयुगं सुरक्तसकलाकल्पं स्मरेदार्यकम् कल्हारोज्ज्वलनीलकुन्तलभरं कालाम्बुदश्यामलं कर्पूराकलिताभिरामवपुषं कुन्तेन्दुबिम्बाननं श्रीदण्डाङ्कुशपाशशूलविलसत्पाणिं मदान्धद्विपारूढं शत्रुविमर्दनं हृदि महाशास्तारमाद्यं भजे तेजो मण्डलमध्यगं त्रिनयनं दिव्याम्बरालङ्कृतं देवं पुष्पसरेक्षुचापविलसद्माणिक्यपात्राभयं बिभ्राणं करपङ्कजैः मदगजस्कन्धादिरूढं विभुं शास्तारं शरणं व्रजामि सततं त्रैलोक्यसम्मोहनम् मार्ताण्डकोटिसदृशोज्ज्वलदीप्तगात्रम् आर्तार्तिभञ्जनकरार्हदृगब्जयुग्मम् भक्तावलीकलुषताहरबद्धदीक्षम् शास्तारमिष्टवरदं शरणं गतोऽस्मि सुश्यामकोमलविशालतनुं विचित्रम् वासोऽवसानमरुणोत्पलदामहस्तम् उत्तङ्गरत्नमुकुटं कुटिलाग्रकेशं शास्तारमिष्टवरदं शरणं प्रपद्ये ध्यायेत् उमापतिरमापतिभाग्यपुत्रं वेत्रोज्ज्वलत्करतलं भसिताभिरामं विश्वैकवश्यवपुषं मृगया विनोदं वाञ्छानुरूपफलदं वरभूतनाथं शास्तेति केचित् कतिचित् कुमारः स्वामीति मातेति पितेति भक्त्या यं प्रार्थयन्ते जगदीशितारम् स एक एव प्रभुरद्वितीयः एकं शास्त्रं भूतनाथार्यगीतम् एको देवः धर्मशास्ता स एव एको मन्त्रः तस्य नामानि यानि एकं कर्म तस्य देवस्य सेवा तमालश्यामलं भद्रं पिङ्गलाकल्पसुन्दरम् अधिज्याकार्मुकं वन्दे सत्यमव्यक्तयौवनं त्र्यम्बकपुराधीशं गणाधिपसमन्वितं गजारूढमहं वन्दे शास्तारं कुलदैवतं शास्तारं कुलदैवतं शास्तारं कुलदैवतं कनिमूलमहागणपति स्वामिये शरणमय्यप्प मालिगपुरत्तम्म देवी लोकमातावे शरणमय्यप्प सद्गुरुनाथने शरणमय्यप्प एंगल कुल देवमे शरणमय्यप्प स्वामिये शरणमय्यप्प. So in the last session, in the 4th verse of the Bhutanatha Gita, we saw what is meant by karma and what are the divisions of karma, like vikarma, akarma, and so on. In this 5th verse, Suta Maharshi presents the manner in which this king Rajashekhara questions Bhagavan Dharmashastra with a proper attitude, and in the next 6th verse, the king continues to inquire about the definition of Brahman, Brahma Lakshanam, and the ways to resolve the mind, Chittalayam, in Brahman. So let us look at the 5th and the 6th verses of this Bhutanatha Gita, which is in the Bhutanatha Upakhyanam, which again is a part of the Brahmanda Purana of Vedavyasa. So the 5th sloka, Suta Uvacha Bhagavat Vajanam Shrutva Papracha Chapunarnripaha Rajovacha Brahmano Lakshanam Kimva Katham Tasminscha Manasam Liyate Margamadyeva Vada Varijalochana. The Paracheda is Suta Uvacha Bhagavat Vachanam Shrutva Papracha Cha Punaha Nripa Raja Uvacha Brahmanaha Lakshanam Kim Va Katham Tasmin cha manasam liyate margam adya eva vada varija lochana. And the meaning of the verse is Suta Uvacha, Suta Maharshi said, Bhagavat Bhajanam Shrutva, having heard Bhagavan Dharmashastra speak, Paprachacha Punarnripa, King Rajashekara sincerely inquired once again, Punaha. Rajo Uvacha, the king said, Brahmano Lakshanam Kimva. What is Brahman? What is the definition of Brahman? How will the mind resolve in Brahman? Here and now, Adyeva. Hey Varijalojana, O lotus-eyed one, Vada, please instruct me. So this is the verse meaning. So having heard about the primary means of jnanam, the knowledge of self, which is karma. Karma is the means of jnanam. And what is meant by karma? And what are its divisions? The king is making this inquiry. Karma is not the primary means of moksha or enlightenment. You cannot get moksha with karma. But karma is the primary means of gaining jnanam or knowledge. For gaining knowledge, you need karma. And the method to gain jnanam or self-knowledge is Guru Shastra Upadesha Sravanam. That is listening to the Shastra from a properly trained traditional teacher. And this Sravanam or listening to the teaching of the Shastra presupposes certain adhikara, certain qualifications for the seeker, for the student. The primary qualification, the most fundamental, is Shraddha and Bhakti towards the Ishta Devata and Acharya. Which means an Acharya is a must in the process of Sravanam. Otherwise, who are you going to listen to? Also, there is no question of even the possibility of the manifestation of Shraddha or Bhakti. And not only this Shraddha and Bhakti is necessary, there also must be Jijnasa, a Ichcha, a sincere desire, a steadfast commitment to the study of the Shastram or the scriptures from the teacher. Not occasionally here and there, but consistently and systematically in a very orderly way, in an orderly fashion. The subject matter of self-knowledge has thus to be studied systematically from the Shastras, from the Guru. If it is studied in an asampradayika way or in a disorderly and unsystematic manner from an asampradayavit, even after many years of reading, after many years of Sravanam, the fundamental doubts will continue. So there must be Jijnasa, desire to study, and there must be a proper Sampradayika method. So this is indicated in this Bodhanadi Gita when Suta Maharshi uses this phrase Papracha. That is, the king who is the student with all sincerity asked Bhagavan, the teacher, the Guru, to teach him. So here the qualifications of the acharya or the teacher is also indicated by the phrase Bhagavantam. Bhaga means jnanam, and that means those who teach the Shastram, they should have jnanam, they should be jnanis. The word jnani, it corresponds to a srotriya, which is mentioned in the Mundaka Upanishad. And a srotriya means an acharya who has nishta in Sruti, which indicates that the acharya himself must have been taught by another guru, and he must be convinced of this self-knowledge. It should not be merely conveying the message from the scriptures to the student. From the scriptures, it must have come to the understanding of the acharya, at least Bauddhikam, and from the acharya's understanding, this teaching must proceed. And the word srotriya indicates he must know the prakriya in sampradaya. The prakriya means the methodology, the system of the teaching method mentioned in the scriptures. The Shastras mention different procedures or prakriyas of teaching. Each of this method is known by the word prakriya. There are several prakriyas like avasthatraya prakriya, dirgdrishya viveka pratyaya, karya karana prakriya, etc. For example, the avasthatraya prakriya, the Atman or self is not considered as a dimension or a state of consciousness, but it is known as consciousness itself. And an analysis of the three states of consciousness, the waking, sleep, and dream states, leading to the establishment of the Atman through reasoning, through tarka, that is called as avasthatraya viveka prakriya. So several such methods are unfolded in the Shastra, and an acharya must know these and the tools of communication in order to unravel this. Thus, the jnani means the one who has the communication skill and one who knows the content of the teaching. And by what method one should gain that knowledge? From Guru Bhyaha, from the Guru, from the teacher. And in which manner kena vidina Guru Bhyaha prapyade? The Bodhanada Upakyanam says that without Guru Swami, there is no Diksha. So Acharyam Abhigamya. First the Shishya should go to the Acharya. Abhigamya means approach the Acharyas with a proper attitude to listen, to do Sravanam, so that he can gain this Jnanam or self-knowledge, which is the ideal of all the Shastras. So if that Jnana or spiritual knowledge and its realization is the ideal, if all the karmas or actions are going to be finally resolved in that jnana, and we are asked to develop that jnana, how shall we go about it? So we should try to understand this jnana through the teaching. And papracha means by constant questioning of the teacher and one's own mind. So questioning is needed for developing knowledge. Atmajnanam is not a dogma or doctrine or a creed which dissipates away by constant questioning. Only Satyam or truth can stand rigorous questioning, and only truth encourages vichara or inquiry. So, knowledge of this type, this Atmajnanam, it needs constant questioning. And what is this constant questioning? Why it should be so? Why it should be constant? And how do you achieve it? It is indeed so. It has to be constant for showing that you are serious about it. Questions can be very ordinary, or on the other hand, questions can be very serious with commitment. Here, Sudha Maharshi means only serious questioning. So there are several people who ask meaningless questions for nothing because they are not serious. But here it is different. King Rajashekhara is serious about Jnanam. He wants to have it here and now. And when there is such sincerity, the Jnanis, they will instruct you in this Jnanam. They will communicate you this Jnanam through this Shastra Prakriyas. So this step is needed to achieve Jnanam. You have to receive it from somebody who is in possession of this Jnanam. A student goes to a school, and when he goes there, he doesn't know anything about literature or any other subject. The teachers in school teach these subjects and the student learns. You don't ask, if you are a student, why do I need a teacher? I can Google and find out from dictionaries. I can look up the bhashyas and I can read Shastra myself and understand that. You will not say that if you are a Sampradayavit, if you care for Shastra, if you care for Parampara. In this way, when you go into higher levels of knowledge seeking, we need much more help from a teacher, but mostly only by hints and suggestions, not through very terse or bombastic expositions. In the beginning, you need detailed knowledge and thorough communication to lay the foundation. But at higher levels, your mind is mature enough and capable of comprehending things on its own. So a clue, an indication, or a suggestion is enough here and there. And if the student is mature, he begins to see the things with clarity. So in this case, in the case of the highest knowledge, the knowledge of Brahman, the infinite, the immortal, and non-dual reality, it is taught with very concise, brief, pithy declaration. The pithier the expression, the better. Even silence is far better than speech when it comes to Atmajnanam or self-knowledge. So King Rajashekhara asks Bhagavan Ayyappa, Brahmano Lakshanam Kim Tat Vada. Please teach me the nature of Brahman, the reality. Define it. Tell me the definition. Brahman is that one infinite truth the underlying reality behind the whole fabric of universe. That is called in the Upanishads as Tattvam. So these are the words used in the Shastra, the Vedantic literature. So we can achieve this knowledge through the help of spiritually capable teachers. This knowledge, just as we get other types of knowledge from other teachers, for instance, like the knowledge of violin is gained from a violinist. In fact, all violinists must bow to the horse. The bow that is used for playing violins are made up of horsehair, and each bow has this individual strands of horsehair. And these horsehairs have many small hums that only an accomplished violinist will know. Only he will know these features. It cannot be seen with the naked eye of an untrained student. And why are those hums or bumps so important? Because these bumps, they create the tug, the pull, the friction that produces the characteristic subtle melancholic tone of the violin. So all this is knowledge, and it may be physical or it may be spiritual. But in Shastra, but in Vedanta, all knowledge is sacred. And when we are in search of jnanam or knowledge, we have to have this attitude. That is why the Vedas say to light that fire of knowledge in the heart of the seeker. That is how the seeker starts to light the fire of knowledge in his mind. And the teacher helps him or her to make this fire flame forth into a bigger fire, so that he or she can digest all that through learning and then assimilate them, make them part of one's character, and become this dharmic person and pave way to the highest spiritual realization. So now, if you are interested in knowing reality or tattvam or truth of oneself, why does King Rajashekara ask Bhagavan, Brahmano Lakshanam Kim Tadvada? Please teach me the Lakshanam, the nature of Brahman. How Brahma Vichara will help anyone to know oneself. If we need to know oneself, you have to gain Atma Jnanam, the truth of oneself. Why do you have to make Brahman inquiry? So there are reasons for doing this Brahma Vichara or inquiry into Brahman. Because the Vedas, they say Atma hi Brahma. They proclaim that Brahman is the same as Atman. That's what the Vedas convey. So Brahman inquiry is Atman inquiry. Here it is clearly confirmed that Brahman and Atman are one and same. And that is Brahma Atma Aikyam. That is confirmed by this process of Vichara or inquiry into Brahman. Once you say Brahman inquiry, you should not think that it is something new or to be discovered or that is known for the first time. Brahman is not a new substance, and it indicates only a new glory to an already known factor called Aham, or this I. This I is already available with us in the form of Aham, or the sense of individuality in us. Therefore, when we say Brahman knowledge, What is really meant is the knowledge of Brahmatvam status of the mind. This Brahmatvam is revealed by this Brahman inquiry. Brahman inquiry is nothing but gaining Brahmatvam status of Atma. So this is the meaning of inquiry into Brahman. And the next thing Rajashekara asks Bhagavan Ayyappa is, Katham tasminscha manasam liyate adyeva me vada. Adyeva means, tell me the way to resolve my mind, my manasam in Brahman. Adyeva, here and now. Adya eva means now itself. Eva means itself. So how can one achieve it in this very life? Because it is a spiritual realization of the one from whom the world has come, into the one the world is going to merge. We do know that the whole world has come from Brahman. Yato va imani bhutani jayante. And it will go back to Brahman at the time of dissolution. But in spiritual life, a seeker, a sadhaka, a human being, he has this organic capacity, this capability to attain now and here what the cosmos might take millions of years to reach. And that takes place through the grace of jnanam or spiritual knowledge. And the jnanam or knowledge is presented as Sarvam Khalvidam Brahma. Everything that is here is Brahman. There is nothing but Brahman. And when the mind realizes the truth by Sravanam, the mind's laya or dissolution has already arrived. At that moment, the mind has resolved the whole world into the divine. There is nothing separate from the divine. Wherever we look, we will see nothing but the divine, because he is present everywhere. In the beginning of our knowledge, our illumination, it is only like a flickering candlelight. But this is still a tremendous illumination. Illumination all around. That is called the realization, the anubhava of that indigenous fundamental reality, the tattvam. So in this very life, all separateness vanishes when one knows it. So that is the prayer of King Rajashekara to Bhagavan Ayyappa. Adyeva me vada. Eppol kittum, ippol kittum. It means tell me the way to resolve my mind, my manasam in Brahman here and now. And so Bhagavan starts to teach this Brahma Lakshanam from the next 7th verse onwards. Swasti prajabhyah paripalayantam nyayena margena mahim mahisha go brahmanebhyah shubhamastu nityam loka samasta sugino bhavantu sarve bhavantu suginah sarve santu niramaya sarve bhadrani pashyantu ma kaschid dukkha bhag bhavet. Om Shanti 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 Hari Om.